Most people in our neighborhood knew my father as a quiet old man who enjoyed morning walks. Very few knew that his family owned this land long before the first house was ever built, and even fewer understood the history hidden within the county property records. My father has spent decades helping build our community. He has always treated everyone with kindness and respect. He never talks about his business accomplishments. That's simply who he is. Unfortunately, our HOA president viewed him very differently. She believed he was just another elderly resident who refused to follow HOA policies. She had no idea who she was talking to, and she was about to find out. Over several weeks, Karen issued one violation notice after another. She claimed my father's landscaping violated HOA standards. Then she threatened legal action. Things escalated quickly. One afternoon, Karen called the sheriff's office and accused my father of trespassing and refusing lawful HOA orders. Deputies responded to investigate the situation. My father calmly cooperated with every request. He had absolutely nothing to hide. The deputies treated him professionally and respectfully. However, the HOA's allegations required them to verify the facts. No one expected what they would soon discover. The property records told a very different story. County officials began reviewing decades-old development agreements and land ownership records. Those documents revealed something extraordinary. My father's family had originally developed the land where the entire neighborhood now stands, and certain ownership rights had never been transferred. Legal documents confirmed that my father maintained ownership interests in several community parcels and easements. Everything had been properly recorded with the county. The HOA leadership had never bothered to verify the facts. That mistake would become very expensive. I immediately brought certified copies of the original property agreements to the sheriff's office. Within minutes, the entire situation began to change. The deputies realized they had been given incomplete information. Karen's story was falling apart. Karen thought she had intimidated an elderly homeowner. Instead, she challenged the very family that helped build the neighborhood. And this legal battle was only beginning. The sheriff's office requested certified copies of the neighborhood's original development documents. What they discovered immediately raised questions about the HOA's authority. The community had been built on land once owned entirely by my father's family, and some ownership interests still remained intact. The HOA board quickly realized Karen had escalated a dispute without understanding the property's legal history. Several members admitted they had never reviewed the original land records. Their confidence began to disappear. Facts have a way of changing everything. Residents were stunned by the news. Many had lived in the neighborhood for years without knowing who originally developed the community. The truth spread quickly throughout the subdivision. People wanted answers. My father quietly shared photographs taken when the first roads were being built. He remembered planting many of the trees residents now enjoy every day. For him, this neighborhood was never just real estate. It was a lifetime of hard work and community service. County attorneys carefully examined every easement agreement connected to the neighborhood. The documents confirmed several community parcels remained tied to my father's family trust. Everything had been legally recorded decades ago. Nothing about it was hidden. The deputies realized they had responded to what was essentially a property dispute. My father had been cooperative from the very beginning. The allegations made against him simply didn't match the facts. The investigation continued. Karen finally began consulting legal counsel. She learned something that surprised her. HOA authority has limits. Private property rights and recorded land agreements still govern communities today. Residents packed the community meeting room to hear the county's findings. Many expressed support for my father after learning the truth. They appreciated everything his family had contributed over the years. The atmosphere completely changed. County officials presented the neighborhood's original development plans. Every street, park, and common area had been carefully documented. My father's signature appeared on several historic agreements. The room fell silent. Through it all, my father remained remarkably calm. He never spoke negatively about anyone involved. He simply trusted the legal process. And the truth continued speaking for itself. The HOA board began discussing major governance reforms. Residents demanded greater transparency moving forward. No one wanted another misunderstanding of this magnitude. Positive change had begun. County commissioners reviewed HOA governance procedures during an official hearing. They emphasized the importance of verifying property records before taking legal action. Property ownership must always be respected. The lesson could not have been clearer. Certified documents officially confirmed my father's continuing ownership interests. The legal record was complete and unquestionable. The sheriff's office closed its investigation shortly afterward. The facts had finally prevailed. Neighbors thanked my father for his years of service to the community. Many apologized for believing the rumors surrounding his arrest. He accepted every apology with grace and humility. That was simply his character. Karen eventually stepped down from her HOA leadership position. She acknowledged that mistakes had been made during the dispute. The community was ready to move forward respectfully. Everyone had learned something valuable. New HOA leadership was elected shortly thereafter. Their primary goal was rebuilding trust throughout the neighborhood. Respect for property rights became a guiding principle. The future looked much brighter. Life in the neighborhood gradually returned to normal. Families gathered in parks and enjoyed community events once again. The conflict was finally behind everyone. Peace had returned. My father resumed his daily walks throughout the neighborhood. Residents frequently stopped to thank him for helping preserve the community's values. He never sought recognition. He simply loved the place he helped create. One evening, we looked through old photographs documenting the neighborhood's early days. Each picture told a story of hard work and sacrifice.